Hi YouTube family, Lisa A. Romano here, coming from Montego Bay, Jamaica. And today I want to talk about making our dreams come true. Very similar to my other video that I shot from Peter's Island. But I was sitting here this morning having breakfast with my husband and I looked around and I said, I have to share this because it is another absolutely deliberate manifestation of mine that I have created in spite of what I've been through in my life, including a really rough childhood, including, wanting to die at 12. Those of you who have read my book, you know that story. And just feeling like I didn't fit in and like the world was against me. And one of the things I want to say is that when you were born into a home, a dysfunctional home, whether it's an ACOA home, whether it's a drug addicted home, whether it's your mama had you because she wanted a welfare check, and that happens to a lot of us. Born in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, our mothers were having us because we meant an extra check for the month, and we knew it. We knew that we weren't cherished, and we knew that we weren't treated with kindness. We knew that we were basically, a form of payment for those of us who were born to parents that domestically abused one another, whether it was mom beating up dad or dad beating up mom, whether we have siblings who beat us. Lots of us survived sibling abuse. When you are not accepted by your kin, when you feel like your tribal instinct has been frustrated, and the tribal instinct is to feel like you belong. Your tribe is supposed to make you feel like, hey, you're one of us. You're one of us. Your tribe is not supposed to make you feel like you don't belong. And when so many of us, when we feel rejected by our kin, what we do is we go into school with like this mark against us, and we go in behind the eight ball, wanting people to like us, wanting our peers to bring us, bring us into them. And then what happens is they reject us. Part of it is because we're looking for trouble. We're going in like, please like me, all insecure, and other kids feel that. And it's sort of like being in the wild. It's like, you ever notice like the lions will attack the weak because they're easy prey. The lion isn't going to go after the fastest gazelle. The lion's going after the young gazelle, the one that can't defend themselves. So, part of what we experience as human beings is very similar to what goes on in the animal kingdom. Except in the animal kingdom, in most cases, you are accepted by your flock. You are accepted by, your. This is an amazing bird just right there. I'm like the bird lady. I got some white pigeons around me and some black crows. It's just really, 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 really amazing. And they're fighting over the Danish that I was sharing with them. But anyway, in the wild, in most cases, a mommy chimpanzee will take care of her baby chimpanzee. And let's say something happens to a mother chimpanzee and she dies prematurely, then the another female in the chimpanzee family will take care of that baby. That's what's supposed to happen in human lives, but that doesn't always happen. So, and again, we go into a school situation and other children who, have it's really not self-esteem when you're a bully. You're preying off of the weak, so it's not self-esteem, but certainly, you know, um, children who feed off of the fear of other children are going to pick up on the kid that's wounded. So we have to pay attention to that. So we're not accepted by our families. We go into schools feeling not accepted, and then we get picked on in schools. So here we are. We grow up as adults. We have these big egoistic walls because the ego is trying to protect the inner child. And we don't realize that, in the protecting of ourselves, we create this conflict because we want to be loved and we want to be able to be loved. We want to be able to love. We want to be able to love and be loved, but these walls are protecting our ego. I mean, our ego is protecting this inner child that's just afraid to be hurt again. And so we create a push and a pull relationship with love, and it becomes like a tug of war. So when you're in a tug of war, you can't create deliberately. You just can't. That's not a stream of abundance. And so any of you that have watched my channel, you understand that we're always creating our own reality. So if we're in a tug of war with love, we're going to create that tug of war. In our relationships with our spouses, we're going to create that tug of war. In our relationships with our bosses, we're going to create that tug of war with our children. It's not until we learn to love and accept the self, and then the tug of war in our head mind. So in other words, it's no more I'm not enough crap going on. It is, I am enough, I know I'm enough, I'm made of stardust. And if I keep telling myself that enough, and I keep catching the programming that has me beating myself up, eventually I will come into alignment with loving myself, and the tug of war within self dies. It's just gone, it dissolves. So then what will happen is the ego starts to relax because it understands that the higher mind is finally accepting any lower aspect of self. You have to embrace whatever you've been through. Then you come into it. Then you come into alignment with the stream of abundance. Now you can create. So that brings me 360 degrees to why I'm doing this video right here, right now. So I'm having breakfast with my husband, and I look over my shoulder, and I notice this. I'm going to show you in a second. But where I'm sitting right now is it looks like a circle, and it has these beautiful, beautiful columns, like cement columns. Now I have been in my own mind, in my own, like when I do my work in the morning, my journaling and my meditation and my deliberate creating in my own mind, I have been imagining me on vacation with my children in exactly this little area. I know it sounds crazy. In my imagination, I was in Greece, but whatever. Whatever. I'm in Montego Bay, and so last night my children and I were up here. We were having like ginger ale, and my little one was having Shirley Temples. It was adorable, and I looked around when I saw the vision of my kids against this wall behind me. That's when I said, "Oh my God, I have been dreaming about this moment for a while now, for at least a year, every morning. Well, on and off, driving in the car, like imagining my kids and I on vacation with this type of a wall behind me. Now, some people watch this video and will say that girl's out of her mind. I really don't care. This message is for anybody who this message resonates with. So if the C chord in me is striking the C chord in you, girl, guy, dude, whatever, start deliberately thinking about the kinds of things that you want to manifest and get into alignment with it. So my purpose for this video is to help inspire you that no matter what you've been through, you can create. So let's explain something. So in scripture, right? Now, I am not a religious person. I just think the Bible is the most amazing psychology book there is. And it's also the most metaphysical book there is. But you gotta get past all the labels that man has put on the Bible and what it means. So when it says that like Christ is the head of the church, Christ represents consciousness, okay? Your consciousness represents your church. Your church is your body. Your church is your existence. Your church is your ability to be in this physical world and deliberately become a creator. So when it says that man is the head of the home, what it means is that the consciousness of man, the godlike power of man, is the head of the home. Up here, my mind is the head of this body. Okay? So that's really what it means. So for anyone out there that's an atheist or an agnostic, I bow to the love and the light in you, because there's love and light in you anyway, whether you believe in something outside of you or not. But in a way, you're right, because the power is within you. In my opinion, there is a creator. There's something that set this all in motion. I believe that. I do not believe that I think it would be supremely ignorant of me to believe that there isn't other life forms out there in the vast galaxies that there are. However, I'm really not paying attention to that, because my agenda is to manifest here as much as I can until I take off and go someplace else. Really. So let me just encourage you to understand that in spite of anything that you've been through, you really can overcome. You can overcome. Stop the tug of war in your head or in your body about whether or not you is enough. You is enough. Get in alignment with the stream of abundance. Then start thinking about what you want to create in your world. Spend 15, 20 minutes a day, every day, thinking about what you want to create in your life. What kind of relationship. I manifested my damn husband. When I was 43, I wrote a letter to the universe saying, this is the kind of relationship I want to be in. This is how I want to feel. I wrote it at 43. I said, by the time I'm 45, I'll be ready for this relationship, because I wanted to raise my children without a man in my house. That was my agenda as a single mother. I didn't want to confuse them, and I just didn't want that. I wanted my children to feel completely loved by their mom. And I'll tell you what, my husband, the man I'm on vacation with today, asked me out to dinner on my damn 45th birthday. That's the truth. So I know this manifesting stuff works. But this is what Abraham Hicks doesn't tell you, and this is what Bob Proctor doesn't tell you, and this is what I've never heard anyone say what I'm about to say to you now. If you don't believe that you're enough, if you don't believe that you're enough for what you're dreaming about, for instance, you can think about wanting to manifest a beautiful relationship and a wonderful man or a wonderful woman. If you don't think you're worthy of that relationship, you can't manifest it. You just can't. You can, if you're obese, I have clients who are overweight, very obese, and they want to be thin. But if they can't imagine themselves thin, and if they don't feel worthy of being thin, getting on an airplane and not having to get 2 seats, if they don't feel worthy of that, then they can't manifest a healthy life experience. You just can't. You have to believe that you're worthy of what you want. You have to believe that. And you are. You are. The programming is holding you back. And I will dare say this, dear one. When I stopped watching television, the wars stopped, racism stopped, prejudice stopped. I stopped beating myself up for not looking like, some Kardashian, which is, again, do the Kardashians exist? I mean, if you live by way of a surgeon's knife, does the person I'm looking at exist at all? I mean, it makes you wonder. Um, and I don't mean to get on their case, but I only use them because they're so out there. They're so, like, people recognize them so clearly. Um, when I stopped judging myself, then the judgment of others stopped. I did have to stop judging other people first. So for me, it was like I heard myself saying, "Stop judging her, stop judging her, stop judging him," and that had to stop. I took control over that, and I judged because I was judged. I was judged. I was judged as a child. I was critical of others because everyone was in my life was critical of me. Everybody, mother, father, teachers, brothers, sister, you name it, aunts, uncles, neighbors. And so when everything stopped in here, when all the judgment stopped in here, when I stopped judging people on the outside, it was easier for me to judge myself less. I started resonating in a higher frequency. Um, and I understood, like, oh my God, my head, my brain, Christ consciousness, I get it. Believing that I am that I am. I am that I am. I can do anything. I can believe in myself. Every message that is biblical about or scriptural that comes from Jesus Christ, applies to me as an individual. So I am here to help you understand that manifesting deliberate life experiences is possible. So just take a look at this view. Okay. Okay. Bye, dear ones.